I was fishing a regional amateur tournament in Tennessee. The angler next to me was catching fish on every other cast. Every other angler across the field was struggling. Same lake, same morning, same conditions across the board. He was not fishing a better or more productive spot. He was not using a different technique or a different rig. He was dropping something into the water before each cast, counting to 60 in silence, and then casting into the center. I watched him do this for 20 minutes before I said anything. When I finally walked over to look at what he was using, I expected something expensive from a tackle shop. It was a small, unmarked container from his tackle box, with 2 kitchen ingredients that cost $2 total. He told me what both ingredients were without hesitation. His father had fished commercially on the Mississippi in the working rivers of the 1960s and 70s and had used this combination every single day on the water. It was common knowledge among serious working fishermen back then, before organized fishing tournaments across 3 states banned it, before the commercial attractant industry moved in and convinced everyone that kitchen ingredients were too simple to outperform anything with a scientific label on it. That angler had been using the combination for years. He said the ban across Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama, after 3 seasons where anglers using this method dominated, was the clearest confirmation he had ever received that what he was doing worked at a level the organizers found unacceptable. Tournament committees can ban a technique because it produces results that standard equipment cannot match in the same conditions. They cannot ban the underlying chemistry that makes it work. And they cannot legally ban baking soda and honey from a kitchen. The ban did not hold in any permanent or enforceable sense, but it signaled to every watching angler what this combination produced looked like against serious competition with real money at stake. The combination of baking soda and pure liquid honey creates a chemical reaction the moment the two make contact. That reaction releases carbon dioxide in a stream of fine bubbles that disperses through the water column for approximately 60 seconds. Those bubbles do something that no spray bottle can replicate. They produce a physical vibration signature in the water that is indistinguishable from the signature of aquatic insects emerging naturally from the bottom toward the surface. Fish that have been ignoring everything on the surface for hours turn toward that vibration before they have any other information. The lateral line fires before the olfactory system has registered anything. That lateral line vibration response is the first trigger. The second trigger arrives at almost exactly the same moment. Honey releases more than 180 volatile aromatic compounds when pure honey first contacts the surrounding water column. These compounds spread rapidly through the water column as the carbon dioxide bubbles carry them toward the surface and outward. Fish processing the surrounding water through chemoreception receive this signal as a concentrated food source in the immediate area. 2 independent sensory systems activated at the same time. The lateral line responding to physical vibration, chemoreception responding to dissolved aromatic compounds. The simultaneous activation of both sensory systems produces the feeding response faster and more reliably than any single-channel attractant at any price point. Before I get into the exact preparation and the tournament ban history, the kind of consistent result that angler produced in a field of serious competition with real money on the line comes from understanding more than just what goes in the water. It comes from knowing when fish are feeding, where they hold, and how conditions like barometric pressure and moon phases affect feeding activity levels at different points in the day. I put together everything I know about those patterns into a complete system for anglers who want results every trip. Scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen or click the first link waiting in the description below. Stay here because the preparation takes about 30 seconds, and the reason tournaments banned this from 3 states is exactly what you need to hear before you try it. The commercial attractant market earns over $4 billion annually by selling synthetic approximations of what this $2 combination does. The fundamental problem with every spray bottle on the shelf is that an active carbon dioxide reaction cannot survive in a sealed bottle. The moment you seal a product that relies on a chemical reaction, the reaction either fires once and is spent, or it never fires at all. Baking soda and pure honey only react when they physically meet. You control the exact moment when that reaction happens. You control precisely where you put it in the water. And the reaction it produces at that moment of firing is the same reaction the fish have been responding to since before any of those $30 products existed. Here is the preparation, exactly as he showed me at the tournament. 1 tablespoon of baking soda in a small container, 1 tablespoon of pure unprocessed honey alongside it. Do not mix the 2 ingredients in advance at home. Prepare the mixture at the water edge, not at the car. Add both ingredients at the spot and drop them directly into the water immediately after combining the 2. The carbon dioxide reaction begins the instant the 2 make contact, and the active window runs for approximately 60 seconds. Drop the mixture into the center of your intended casting area. Count to 60 out loud or silently as you watch the surface. Do not cast any line into the water during the count. The carbon dioxide bubbles need the full 60 seconds to distribute through the water column and establish the vibration field. After the count, cast directly into the center of the activity. Any bait works because the mixture has already pulled the fish in. You are casting into a spot that is already producing a feeding response. Reapply a fresh mixture every 20 minutes during the session. The reaction dissipates in approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Applying fresh mixture before the previous cloud fully disperses maintains the spot in an active feeding state throughout the session. For catfish, substitute dark brown sugar for the honey. Catfish have taste receptors distributed across the entire body surface and respond to the sugar and baking soda combination, with a strike rate that honey alone does not match. For carp, add a tablespoon of vanilla extract to the honey before combining it fully with the baking soda side. Carp have a documented response to vanilla compounds in the water. The reaction carries the vanilla deeper into the water column than a surface-applied spray could ever independently reach. For cold water below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, add a pinch of cayenne to the honey side of the mixture before you drop the fully combined active mixture in. The capsaicin activates an aggressive feeding response in fish whose metabolic rate has slowed with the water temperature. For turbid or stained water, double the baking soda. More carbon dioxide means more bubbles and a stronger vibration signal when visibility is too low for the visual component to carry. The commercial attractant industry has no product that replicates an active carbon dioxide reaction in a sealed bottle. An active chemical reaction continues consuming its reactants until one of the reactants in the mixture is fully exhausted. A bottle sealed on a production line 6 months before you buy, it cannot contain a reaction that is still actively producing gas. What those products contain are stabilized compounds that mimic one side of what this reaction produces without the physical vibration component that fires the lateral line. That is the gap that no $30 spray bottle has closed. That gap exists because it cannot be closed by a product on a shelf. The physical vibration produced by active carbon dioxide bubbles in open water requires a reaction that is happening right now, not one that happened before the bottle was sealed, not one that is being chemically approximated at a reduced concentration, the actual reaction occurring in the actual water where the fish are. Baking soda and pure honey are not a secret formula. They have been sitting in every kitchen across America for longer than organized fishing existed as a sport. What has been kept quiet is the specific combination and application that produces results at a level the tournament circuit found worth banning. The angler I watched in Tennessee did not invent this. His father figured it out on the Mississippi in the 1960s by observing what happened when he prepared his bait near the water, and the runoff from the mixture reached the surface. He started doing it deliberately. After the third time, he noticed the same response forming in the same way. He taught the method to his son, who used it in competition, until the Tennessee tournament circuit attempted to stop it. That is 3 consecutive generations of field testing across commercial fishing, amateur tournaments, and recreational use. The documented result has been the same across all 3. Carbon dioxide bubbles, honey compounds, 60-second count, center cast. That sequence has not changed across 3 generations of the same family. It has not changed because nothing about the fish has changed. You now have both the preparation and the reason the ban existed. If you want 10 more methods at this exact cost level, the Forbidden Baits add-on inside the Angler's Vault has 10 legal homemade recipes, including reaction bait variations that extend this approach across different species and conditions. Scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen or click the first link waiting in the description below. The complete system is waiting for you inside the Angler's Vault.